A lot of businesses don't go under because they don't necessarily know what to do. Because, I do a lot of coaching and a lot of it is validation, right? Like we ask questions for validation, not necessarily for what like we want. But the biggest problem is, and I think we are live. How are you, Megan?
Well, how are you doing?
Good. I feel like this is like we haven't done this in a long time. I feel like it's been
It's
like
been a while.
a few weeks at this
Yeah,
point.
I think it has too.
When I was out, I think one of them was during like I was taking 7 days off, like the week off, and
Hmm.
then uh last week, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, I feel like it's been a while. Good to see you. I mean, that's like a weird thing to say because I see you all the time and I speak to you all the
Yeah.
time. But good on this show for the audience to see you. The audience missed you. I don't think they missed
Yeah.
me. I think they missed you.
Think you were very much missed as well.
Nah, nah, nah. They don't care about me. They see my social media posts. They see my posts. They're like, "Where's Megan? Where's
You're
Megan?
the star of the show.
Where's Megan?" Ah, you asked the questions. I'm just here to answer. The questions are the hard part. You field the questions and ask them. You get the hard part. Um, if you don't know what this is um, the Ask Me show, the Ask Jason show. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. We'll answer questions on business, um, life. I don't know, whatever I feel I'm qualified to answer, and whatever I'm not qualified to answer, I'll just tell you I'm with you on the journey figuring it out myself. But yeah, we've got questions. I know we got a good show. I know we've been off, so we should have a bunch of questions, but limited time spot. So if you have any questions, just put them in the comments. We'll get to it. I'm here to help. That's what I want to do. I'm here to help. But I will start the show off by saying that my thoughts, my prayers, everything, um, whatever feelings I can muster up are with the families of the people who were brutally massacred in a massive terrorist attack in Israel last Sunday. Um, my thoughts are with the families. It's been a hard week as I have friends and family over there. Um, my thoughts are with the innocent Palestinian people who are being affected by this as well. Innocent life on both sides. Um, Losing innocent lives on both sides is bad. But this was a massive terrorist attack, and um, my thoughts and prayers are there, and including 150 hostages that were taken, grandparents. These were grandparents. These were husbands, wives, brothers and sisters, uh, children, including babies, including um, uh, under a year old babies being ripped out of their parents' arms and taken hostage and kidnapped. So I will start the show. We will get into regular life. I've paused for a week. That's why we had the week off. I paused for a week. Pausing for a week does not do enough justice, but we got to go on as much as we can. But I will not stop thinking about it, and I'll use whatever platform I have to demand the release of 150 hostages and kidnapped people that deserve to be back home with their family, no matter what you think, no matter what side you are on. That is a war crime. It is unacceptable, and they should be safely returned to their families. So, that being said, hard to jump into things after that, but let's kind of roll with it and let's kind of jump in.
Okay. Um, okay. This first question is from John. What are some of the latest and most effective ways I can use social media to gain more followers?
The question is like, why followers, right? So followers have become like a vanity metric a little bit, right? It's become one of those things like, hey, look how many followers I have. As someone who's lost um, probably over 100 followers this past week from posting uh, my stance and my thoughts on what happened overseas last week, I tell you, I don't care. And as someone who's done contests and giveaways to get more followers, right, which just ruined my engagement and everything like that, I don't care anymore. Yeah, and the question is, you should want quality followers, and you should want the quality of the people that are following you matter most. I know people who have 100,000 followers and they get 200 likes, and I know people who have 800 followers and they get 400 likes and comments and engagement. So that's what you should be focusing on. So is the content you're putting out there worthy enough for people to want to follow you? That's what you have to ask yourself. So how do you do it? You keep posting consistently. See, a lot of people, they do it for a week and they gain like 10 followers and then they stop and then they wonder what happened. How come they're not growing? When it comes to growing your brand, your personal brand, whether it's to get followers, whatever it's for, it comes consistency is the number one thing. Post every single day. Up until last week, where I literally took a week off and I posted just my own personal message to everyone on there. Um, I post every single day. I post every single day. And starting today, we're back to posting every single day. But consistency is what matters most when you're trying to grow. And if you're not growing, look at the content you're putting out there and ask yourself, is that the message my audience wants? I had a coach who one time asked me a question when I said, I want to be a leader. I want to be a following. This was like years ago. And he asked me, he said, are you worthy of being a leader and followed? So ask yourself that. Are you worthy of getting 100,000 followers? And I'm not talking about doing the contest and buying followers and whatnot. Are you worthy of people following you and in mass amounts?
Okay.
You could also go and run ads and get in front of a lot of different people, and hopefully your ads resonate and they follow you from there.
That's a good point. Okay. Okay. If I invest in a business coach, how can I measure the effectiveness of the coaching? And this is from Gary.
Are you better than you were? I mean, that's it. Like a coach doesn't make you money. You make yourself money. Coach doesn't make you a happy person. You make yourself a happy person. A coach is just there to be the Sherpa on your journey up the mountain. They're there to get you to think. They're there to get you to do it. Otherwise, they can't do it for you. It's like, how do you measure the results of a personal trainer? Right? If they tell you to go lift the weight and you half-ass it and you don't do the one more and you quit early, or you talk 60% of the way there, and you're just socializing in the gym, is it your personal trainer or is it you? And maybe it's your personal trainer who's like should be telling you to shut the fuck up and, sorry for the language, and get back to lifting weights. But yeah, I mean, you measure it by, do you find that person is helping you become a better insert whatever you were looking to do? I've had business coaches where it was a giant failure and they just didn't help. Their advice was always the same, and I wasn't becoming mentally stronger or sharper. The other thing is, know where you want to go, right? So if you know where you want to go and you plug in a GPS, how do you tell the effectiveness of the GPS? You're moving towards the destination. Right? You're moving, you're getting closer. The time to destination is going smaller and smaller and smaller. That's how you should be looking at a business coach. That's how I like to coach. My whole coaching, and you sit in on a lot of these calls, Megan, is just more getting you to think differently, because I want to teach you how to fish. Right? I want you to become better. That's my goal.
Okay. All right. This one is from Ryan. As a brick and mortar
You said
small
Ryan?
business, Ryan.
Love the name.
Like, yeah,
Good
I
name.
bet you do.
Good name.
As a brick and mortar small business owner, is it more effective for me to use Facebook ads or direct mail to bring in more customers? And then also, I have a small budget for advertising.
Uh, both work, right? So you could actually get by if you have a brick and mortar store, you have one store. You can get by with a very, very small budget running ads because
Mhm.
your geolocation of who you're going after is pretty small. So you don't need a massive budget to do that. Direct mail is an incredible way that I think a lot of small businesses, especially local businesses, don't use effectively. They put out like a bunch of brochures or spam, but if you could actually get strategic about it, they both they both work. Um, uh, Ads will have a more immediate impact. Direct mail is a bit of a longer tail. You can't just necessarily just send out one and expect it. Like ads could just be running while you sleep, require less maintenance. So I would say depending on what your goal is, but if your goal is to build big, and you have a small budget and you have to choose one, I'd probably start with ads.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess that makes sense too, because direct mail, I mean, somebody could just see the brochure or whatever and just like toss it, and then there it goes. So you
Yeah,
have
you
to
can't
continue
really
to,
retarget those people, right? Like people
yeah.
who opened up your envelope, right? Like
Mhm.
that's not a real thing that you could possibly do. But on Facebook, you retarget someone who's watched your video, so
Mhm.
you could go after those people. So again, um, I'm a big fan of direct mail. I think I've made that clear on multiple episodes of this. But if you're telling me I had to pick one, I had a small business, small budget, I can't do both. I need to do one. It's it's ads for sure. Ads have the most immediate impact.
Okay. Okay. All right. Are there any specific industries or types of businesses that you feel can benefit more from business coaching than others? I guess than other types of businesses from
Nope.
Kristen.
Nope. Everyone has somebody who's done what they want to do, right? In any industry, you could be in the IT space and there's probably some IT person who's like the top IT consultant on the planet that you'd want to learn from. You could be a chef and you want to learn from a different chef and you want someone to teach you. You could be a chef wanting to open up a restaurant and there are a lot of restaurateurs or chefs who've opened up restaurants and they know the ins and outs. They've made the mistakes. They've paid the price, and they could see what's coming around the corner, which is the most important part, right? A lot of businesses don't go under because they don't necessarily know what to do. Because I do a lot of coaching, and a lot of it is validation, right? Like we ask questions for validation, not necessarily for what like we want. But the biggest problem is that they don't see what's coming around the corner.
Mhm.
They can see what's right in front of them and they're like, okay, I know I have to do this, this, and this, but they don't know what the next mistake is going to be.
Mhm.
And that's where you always want someone who knows, who's seen around the corner, who could tell you, hey, careful, careful, you're about to get hit in the face right now if you walk around this corner too quickly, or you take this alley or that alley.
Yeah.
So every industry has somebody. Doesn't mean you have to go after like a Tony Robbins. Let's say if you're this and you want to grow your restaurant business, go find somebody. And a lot of coaching can be done through mentorship also. A lot of people reach out, they want top-notch mentors. Right? I want Elon Musk to mentor me. That's great, but as smart as Elon Musk is, he's a billionaire and he doesn't, I like maybe he does, but chances are he doesn't remember what it's like to start at $1,500 in your bank account, and you have to make decisions from there. He makes decisions from $1 billion standpoint, but you have a local person in your business in your area who's done what you're doing.
Mhm.
They're not at the billionaire status, but they're more relevant and recent to what you want. Those are the
Yeah.
people that probably have more of a finger on the pulse of what you need to do. in the moment you're in right now. So um, that goes to a different question: is when should you leave your business coach? When you outgrow them. I've outgrown some of my coaches, right? I've outgrown because I've made more money than them and I've surpassed them, right? Now they could be a great mindset coach and I could surpass them and I will keep them because the mindset is a different thing. But if I'm looking at someone to help me grow my business and I grow it to X amount and they've never taken it to the next level from there, then I need to find someone who has. So you will always have someone. So every industry, every person, everyone on the planet could benefit from some sort of coaching.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now we've got my question of the week. All right. What are some daily habits or routines that you practice for personal development?
I
feel like you read a lot. I feel like that's probably
yeah,
one.
yeah. I read a lot. I do, but there's a problem with reading a lot too. Sometimes you just then stay stuck and you don't do anything because you're just reading, and it's like, okay, oh, this book said to do that. Oh, but this book says to do this. Oh, but this book says to do that. So learning how to read and think. I think a lot. I used to think that was a bad thing. In some areas, it is being an overthinker. But I think a lot. I journal. Journal has been incredibly helpful to me. Something that I have, it's not that I've been doing it for 10 years. I've had a coach who told me to do it. Journaling has been incredibly helpful in my personal development. I write a lot. I create content. That's kind of my outlet. That's kind of my outlet for a lot of things. But yeah, I mean, that's my personal development. My goal is to now add, making sure we stay, not just mentally healthy and not just financially healthy, but also we stay emotionally healthy, that my relationships are healthy, that my physical life is healthy, that my spiritual life is healthy. I'm a pretty spiritual person. So just making sure I check all those boxes as well, because, there are times where I'm like, okay, business is going really great and I'm low on my physical side. Like I don't feel great. I haven't been working out. I haven't gone to the gym. I'm not eating healthy. Spiritually, I feel a bit weak, like I haven't connected or maybe, I haven't spent enough time, or I haven't gone on enough date nights with my wife, or haven't spent enough quality time. So like making sure I check those boxes as well is important to me, because having one and being deficient in every single else will still lead to a very unhappy life. So I care more. I'm trying to measure happiness now than versus monetary goals.
Okay. All right. Jerome watching from the Philippines. Hi, Jerome.
Hi, Jerome. Yeah, I mean, look, apologize for not being so sharp today. First time back. Still a lot weight on my mind. Again, please go back to watch the beginning of this video. I'm going to end with this. If you have any questions, obviously reach out, put them in the comments, head over to jportnoy.com if you're interested in working together. And again, I urge every single person to use their voice and demand the safe return of the 150 hostages that are being held by the terrorist organization Hamas inside Gaza, and that they should be returned to their families. So on that note, thank you.